Hi guys, this is week 34 Project Life. I'm starting with my photos as normal, and I've got the latest Studio Calico Documenter kit to use this week. I don't subscribe to the Documenter kit, but I really loved this one, so I grabbed it. So I am just picking out some cards. I loved that gold foil Everyday Magic card, but it was just a bit heavy for the photos I've got this week, so I picked the floral instead. And out of the paper pad, I love that I think it's a stripe with the wee heart on it, so that was a definite. And I grabbed that 3x4 card with the yellow on it to match the yellow ice block that there was in the photo, and wondered whether the yellow might look good as a 6x4 card at the top as well, but I felt like it was a little bit heavy. And I really only need one other card, and I wanted a bit more colour than the one I had originally chosen, so I'm just going through them. I like the red, but it sort of feels a bit heavy, and when I swap it out to the pink, I'm like, yes, it definitely was too heavy. The pink works much better. So this is the cards I've got and the basic layout, and now I can just start working. So just gonna glue down the photos, but this one here, I wanted the heart to be on top of the photo, so I'm just gonna use my scalpel just to trim out the bottom of the heart so I can slip the photo in underneath it. That way I get to see all the yellow, all the heart, and still put my photo on the card. And the last one is just to glue down that Instax onto the pink card, and that is pretty much it. I loved that magic piece, but I don't really put big fat embellishments like that on my Project Life pages, and the sequins work perfectly this week because of the sequin photo. Now watch this. Yeah, great stamping, Diane. And I decided to try and make it worse by stamping it twice. And then I thought I would stamp it onto card, but the stamp was all inky, so I went away, cleaned it up, and I'm going to have another go. So what I'm attempting to do is I'm going to just stamp the stamp onto cardboard and try to cover up the botched stamping on the photo. So I cut that out, but when I layer it over top, the stamping on the photo, because it's all sort of smushed, it is actually bigger than the one I've cut out. So I'm going to back it with some of the red paper I've got here. There's not going to be a lot sneaking out, just a tiny bit. I like it, it covers up the stamp, and it just adds a tiny bit of colour to the photo. So once I trim them down, I'm just going to add a couple of staples and call that one done. Disaster averted, I guess. I'm never really sure what to do with these little, they're not cut aparts, they're sort of perforated. And I found one that I quite like to go with the photo, but as one strip, first you'll see me trimming it down because, I didn't want to tear it out, it looks a bit messy, and then the only place it really fit with the photo, it was going to cover up the heart, so I decided to cut it into little strips, but I didn't really like that with the heart either, so instead I'm going to ignore that for now and just work on my title card, which is super simple. I'm just going to add these alpha stickers. And in the middle of that was a phone call, so my iPhone stopped recording, so there's the rest of it. And all I'm going to do is just add the date stamp in underneath. My usual little heart with my gel pen, and that's it for the title card. I really like it. It didn't need any more than that. The pattern was already busy enough. When I was doing the stamping on just this scrap card, I stamped the other stamp from the set, so I'm just fussy cutting that out and wondered about putting it on that photo, but I think it goes nicely on this one because there is a bit of blank space on the top of that Instax. But then I wondered what to put on this photo of Lil, and I really liked this card, but the space for the photo, it just wasn't going to fit the photo that I've already printed, and I didn't want to reprint it, so I'm going to go about trying to sort of cut the card apart, cut the photo apart, and sort of join them both together. So my first attempt did not work well. I realised I was still not going to be able to make 4 inches high. So I'm trimming down my photo, and then I'm going to stick that on and then trim down the card as much as I can at the bottom. And then I'm going to trim that whole piece down to 4 inches. And then I can stick the other piece that I cut off first back onto the top of the photo. That way everything sits nicely, and it's still a 4x3. And I really love the way it worked out. So I think what I'm going to do now is look through the rest of those 3x4s to see whether there was anything else I could hack apart. The reality is I never use all of these 3x4 cards. There's so many cards comes in kits and I'm just never going to use them all. So I'm just going through some of these to look for bits that I could maybe cut out and make my own sort of embellishments with. So there were some numbered labels. I thought I could cut out the let's do this or this is everything, maybe punch that into a circle, which I don't. I literally only use these little labels, but it was a good idea at the time. So there's 3 of these and I thought it would be a good opportunity to do some journaling, but because the numbers are all on one side, they're not all going to fit where I want to use them, and I think it would look weird having like 1 and 3 and then a blank one. So I'm just gonna flip them all around so that none of them have numbers, and then it just becomes 3 little journaling spots. So you can see there I just turned that upside down, stuck it onto my photo and trimmed off the piece with the number, and then I can just add my journaling in. And I'm going to do the same with this one. I don't need a heap of journaling on here, so I'm just adding a little bit to it. And then the third one is going to fix my problem on this card because it's going to add the piece that I wanted to add. I think the only logical place I could find to put it is up the top, so it's not covering the photo, it's not covering up my little heart, but it just gives me a place to add a little bit of journaling. And I could call that done, but I really want to add some of these beautiful sequins that came in the kit. Wasn't sure how I was going to do it. First I thought I might cover up the heart with the sequins, but I actually think what I'm going to do is just sprinkle them all over the whole page, just to sort of help tie the whole thing together. So I have grabbed some multi-matte medium, and that is what I use to stick sequins down with. I really like it. It's a strong adhesive, but the bits that sort of get messed up, you can't actually see them. It doesn't leave a big glossy glue mark. So I'm roughly placing some sequins all over, not on every photo. It sort of goes diagonally top left to bottom right, just picking out colors that match. And once I've got them all sort of placed roughly where I want to put them, I'm just using my tweezers to dip them into the wee pile of matte medium and then just stick them where I want them. So, I mean, that does take a little while to dry, so I'm just going to leave this out on my desk while that happens. I'm going to guess it probably takes an hour or so. I just swapped that red one out. Some of these sequins were so jumpy. My desk gets really staticky, so the sequins go everywhere. So it does take a little bit of time. The tweezers definitely help. And that is my page all done this week. I really love it. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Bright, springy, colourful. This is making me really happy. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. There's a couple more videos on screen if you want to keep watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.